Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake. For all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs, go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Mindset Podcast on the Paddle and Fin Network. Thank you for joining me this week. Before we get our guest in here, I just want to remind everyone about the kayak fantasy fishing that we have going on. It's still not too late to sign up. We're still giving prizes per quarter and for the end of the season in case you go on a hot streak and end up taking first place. But just want to give everybody a reminder of that. Now our guest today is going to be Coley Mcgowan, I believe. Did I pronounce that right, man?
Yeah, you did.
All right. I totally slipped my mind to ask you before we went live, but how's your day going so far, man? I know you said you picked up a kayak today.
Yeah, it went good. Going good so far.
Yeah, what kind of kayak did you get?
Jackson Coosa HD.
Nice. Is that a secondary kayak or is that going to be your primary one now?
It's going to be my primary for right now, and then hopefully trying to get a NAR, so then it'll become my secondary.
Yeah, I heard those are kind of hard to get right now. Those NARs.
Yeah, everybody's snatching them up quick.
Yeah. So, did you want to give the audience a little bio on yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm Coley Mcgowan. I'm from Gadsden, Alabama. Travel some. Was fishing a lot of local stuff, and then I started to enjoy traveling more. So, and I had to kind of put a hold on that this year. We had a baby, so next year I plan on traveling more.
That's understandable.
So,
you're a part of the KFL. How are you liking that so far? Because
I like the format. It's cool. I like the team thing. I've enjoyed fishing with a lot of guys that I've had a chance to fish with and get to know them better, and you learn a lot of stuff from each other. But it's just a different, because for all the years I've been fishing kayak tournaments, it's just been a solo thing, or you and your buddy go and y'all go separate ways or whatever. And the KFL is kind of a different format where it brings a team side of it. At the end of the day, we're all competitive, but it's just a different atmosphere versus a solo thing. You kind of approach things different too. We've all talked about it, and it's just you go into it with a different mindset and a different approach versus if you were solo in a tournament, if you were just fishing something by yourself.
Yeah. So, can you tell me what the format is? Because I'm not fully familiar with it. I looked into it a little bit, but what's kind of the format of?
All right, so you'll send 4 team guys to say we fish against South Carolina or a Florida team or something. We would send 4 of our team guys to fish their 4 team guys, and just say, for instance, it was in Florida. You would fish on the Florida's team's home water or whichever water they choose to put us on, and then it's the best. It's the best 10 fish, total. But, as an individual, there's still an individual standings as far as, so if I went and caught 10 fish, I would submit all my 10 fish versus, you don't just have to split 1 or 2 or 3. If one guy out of the team catches all 10 fish, that's fine. But yeah, it's just, it's four person team, at least 4, that's the max that can fish at a time. And then, it's 10 fish total, and then, best 10 wins.
Oh, nice. I'll try to get into that next year. They don't have a team. Well, I'm in Illinois. They don't have a team out here. The closest one to us is Wisconsin, I think, or Michigan.
Yeah, Indiana, I know they've got one. Let's see, there's I think Virginia may have one. Yeah, start you a team. It's fun.
I gotta get a few people who I know are committed though first.
Oh yeah.
So, and then you do a few Hobie B.O.S events. Obviously, you have the hat on. Do you do
Yeah.
those sporadically, or do you try to chase Angler of the Year at all? Or
No, I really just kind of the past like couple years, I've just kind of picked and choose which ones I wanted to fish, just around family and work. But I hope next year going forward, I'm able to fish a lot more and dedicate more time. That's what I'm focusing on next year is the Hobie Trail, and then probably fish some BASS stuff, and I may try to slip a couple of the KBF stuff in there as well. Um, but yeah, that's I've just been able to pick and choose, which ones I kind of fits my style and which ones I want to go fish and stuff for now, and then I'll just start trying to fish as many as I can moving forward next year.
okay. So let's get into how do you when you won the Coosa River event for the B.O.S. correct? Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
like 2020, I think is when it was.
Okay. Going into that event, what was kind of like your preparation or your mindset going into it? Was it just I'm gonna go out there and have fun, or was it I'm gonna go out there and take this very seriously?
I'm a real competitive. I mean, it's fun. I mean, that's why we all do it,
Yeah.
But when it comes to tournament fishing, it's just a different, it's a different time. I know for me, I approach it, a lot more serious. Which I don't want it to take all the fun out of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty serious when it comes to preparation. Mine's focus, getting everything prepared, my tackle, my scouting done, my time on the water. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Is just to me is you get as much out of it as much time as you put in. Like if you're only putting in a little bit of time, it's hard to get any reward out of it, in the long run, because those guys that you're fishing against, I mean, some of them fish every single B.O.S event. Some of them, sleep in their truck for days, a whole week. They camp, they fish their butts off. And I mean, it's hard to beat them. You know what I mean? Hats off to those
Mhm.
guys. Cause I mean, they're there. They, practice enough. They're able to break down water and be time efficient and put something together, and it's hard to beat those guys when they are putting in the work.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, but that's any tournament trail. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's hard at the locals just like it is. I mean, it's way harder at the B.O.S because there's actual people who are doing this for a living that's going to those events. But so preparing for the event, did you do like map studies? Did you like kind of what was
Well,
your
I've
preparation into it?
well for the B.O.S that came here to Gadsden. I've lived here my whole life, so I had a little bit of hometown advantage, I guess. That can hurt you and help you.
Yeah,
I think it's hurt more than it's helped a lot of people, but I just knew, I mean, I've lived here my whole life. I grew up fishing here since I could barely walk. I just knew how the place laid out. I knew, everything I needed to know. I really didn't practice a whole lot just because our state championship was the weekend before, and me and Lance Coley ended up tying for first in the state. He ended up beating me by the tiebreaker. He had a bigger fish. Um, and so I just kind of went off that. I was on so many fish then that I was just like, I'm just not even going to come in here during the week and bother them. Just going to leave them alone and just, go fishing Saturday and Sunday. And um, it worked out in the end, but day one threw me a curveball. There had been a lot of anglers in the area that I was fishing, and evidently, I guess they had caught a lot of the fish that I was focusing on, and they were schooled up, and so I guess they got in some of those schools of them, and because when I got there, they were there. It's just they weren't. I couldn't get them to bite. I guess they were sore lipped. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just went to my backup plan, and it wasn't too late in the day, and did enough to where it kept me in the hunt for day two, and then I think day one, I think I was in like sixth or seventh place. Not really where I wanted to be, but it was good enough. And then day two, I just I knew to just completely abandon what I had wanted to focus on and go to another area that I knew that had some fish in it. But I was going to have to go a different direction. I couldn't hit both, and ended up basically filling my 5-fish limit. I think it was like 93 and a half or 93 and a quarter inches by like 9 o'clock. And then the rest of the day I was just looking for a big one. And that's what I ended up, and that's what led day 2 was that, that early flurry that morning.
So did you go into the event expecting to win, or just is your mindset kind of cash a check? Like,
No,
did you have any set goals before the event even started, or?
Well, I'd always, I heard that it was coming to Gadsden, Hobie was coming to Gadsden. I was like, man, this is a huge opportunity for me because, I was, hometown guy. I've fished other places and done well, but, this was the one that was, the biggest opportunity that I would have at the time. And, what better way to do it than win it in your backyard, and, it was a pretty good check. I mean, it was, some cool hardware, and, you get to compete against some of the best anglers in the country. And so I was just excited to have that opportunity. And then, I was definitely going into it to win. A lot of people were, throwing my name out there to, be one of the guys at the top. And just I've been so consistent over the years, fishing here. It's just, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I was going in it to win, that's for sure. But that was, I learned a lot of things from that tournament, even though this is, my home. I mean, I live 5 minutes from the river. That, in Gadsden, it's just, you can't prepare for some of the stuff that happens on the water. Like, you can have as many backup plans as you want. You can, know an area or know a lake as good as you want, but then tournament day rolls around and it's either, somebody's already beat you to them, or the day before the fish you were going to focus on are now gone or sore lipped, or, there's a lot of stuff that plays into it. And I guess just not fishing a tournament that big in Gadsden yet, kind of showed that. And, I learned a lot from it. But, I go into every one of them to win. Even, that was in October, and in November we went to that one qualified me for the Tournament of Champions in Knoxville for the Hobie. And man, I had a crappy practice. I mean, we went and I fished 2 days of practice and I caught some dinks, but really didn't catch anything. I mean, I didn't catch a limit neither day, and so I was going into it like, oh my gosh, it's just this. I don't know what to do, and I was just like,
I've had a couple of those tournaments.
I mean, I'm just like, this is the best 50 at the end of the year, to come fish, and I'm just like, man, I felt like in my mind I deserved to be there, not just because of that win in my home waters, but just I felt like I felt like I was good enough to run with them and compete with them, and then. I got there and had that kind of practice. I was just like, shoot, they're just going to think, oh, this guy can't fish nowhere else.
Oh, hold on.
My father-in-law went with me and, stayed with me when I stayed up there, and, kind of, stayed in my mind, just stay positive, just keep learning, keep breaking down new water, and just, don't steer away from what you do best. That's one thing I think that's hurt me more than anything in kayak fishing is I'll see other people doing things, or I'll hear, of anglers doing certain techniques and, what's working for them, and it may not necessarily work for me. And I feel like I've, lost and gave my, took myself out of, several, finishing at the top because I've tried to adapt and do what other people are doing. If I don't necessarily have enough confidence in it, or stuff like that, and because everybody's got their style of fishing. It's some are power guys, some are shallow water guys, some are offshore guys, and that was one thing I just said going into day 1 at the TOC. I was like, I'm just gonna do what I do. I'm gonna put my head down. I'm gonna throw a chatterbait. I'm gonna flip a little bit. I said, I might even throw some top water here and there. I'm just going to power fish for the most part. And I'm a big flipper. I like to flip, being on the Coosa River chain in Alabama. We, most of the year, that's what, a lot of our bags come off of is flipping. So a lot of Alabama guys are known for flipping. And I just did that the entire first day, and I think I ended up being in like sixth again. At the end of day one, I caught some nice smallmouth, and that's what I was mainly trying to focus on. And then day two, I just decided I'm going to do a different area, and because the area that I caught them on day one didn't really fire up till like mid-morning around lunch. So I was like, well, I'll just fish some new water, and then I'll, get to my starting area where I need to be at what time. And so I fished new water and ended up catching a couple of really nice largemouth on day two. And I knew that I was going to have a crazy big stringer to beat, Christine Fisher, Jordan Marshall, Ryan Lambert. I knew, I was going to have to, they had 90 something inches, on day one, and I had like mid 80s. So I knew I was going to have to, have a very nice day two stringer to give myself a chance. And I just couldn't ever find those kickers. I would catch one or two good smallmouth or largemouth a day, but I couldn't put like a one over the top, like a 20 or better. And so I just kept grinding and ended up leading it most of the day, like mid-morning, early afternoon, and then the leaderboard cut off, and I think I got bumped to second. I think Ryan bumped me to second when the leaderboard cut off. So I was like, okay, I'm still going to finish up top, but, I don't think I got enough to win. Those anglers, they don't really they don't choke a whole lot on day two.
Yeah.
They're pretty consistent. So, hoping that they would have an off day is kind of, needle in the haystack. It's not really, don't happen that often, but I ended up falling a fourth, which I was fine with. That was my second time ever being up there, in 2 weeks. I was pretty happy with that. And that I, competed with those guys. And I don't know, it's, if you haven't fished the Hobie B.O.S, I strongly suggest that you go try it. I was nervous as all get out. I was like, man, I'm just a local guy, and then trying to get in and fish something like that. It's really, when I think about it, the Hobie B.O.S is just, on top of everything. AJ and, the Hobie crew, they run such a clean, smooth event. It's just, no, they're hands down, it's the best. And to me, in my opinion, just by me fishing them and experiencing them, it's ran so smoothly. It's just fun. It's not stressful to me. Like, you pay, you show up, you have a good time at the captain's meeting, you catch up with a bunch of guys, you meet new people, and it's just a good environment to be a part of. And, I tell people all the time, go fish them, pay it, go fish it. You lose, who cares? You win, great. You get the experience and you get to meet all those people. And to me, that's what it's about. We're all trying to win a little bit of money here and there, but it's just a good experience and a good environment to be a part of, and a good experience.
Yeah. So going back to the KFL, Dan said that you were MVP last year. So
yeah, I was.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
My main focus last year, I was spending a lot of time at home, with my family, and wasn't able to travel a whole lot. So I said, my main focus for the KFL is going to be the most consistent guy on the, in the whole thing, in the whole series. And I, every day, typically you go out looking for 5, okay, I need 5 bites. Well, my mindset, I was going and I was looking for 10. I wanted 5 meant nothing to me. Once I got the first 5, I said, okay, I'm back to 0. I got to get 5 more. And that was just kind of how I was going into every event was, not looking for 5 big ones, looking for 10 good ones. And it paid off. dedicated a lot of my time and, effort and stuff. And, I mean, I was surprised at the end of the year because, I mean, you look at the guys that's in the KFL, I mean, they're hammers. I mean, they are all across the country. I mean, you look at the Massachusetts team. I mean, you got Derek Brundle, Connett. I mean, you got all those guys, and then I mean, you got all them Florida guys and the Texas guys. I mean, you can't argue with them guys. I mean, they're good at what they do. It's hard to beat them in Florida. It's to me the hardest divisions are the Southern divisions, like because of you just can't prepare yourself for those kind of conditions. I mean, you got Florida, which is just a different place in general, and
Yeah,
and then
that's what everybody says. Florida is just a
yeah,
disaster.
I mean, Florida is just it's just them guys they understand it. They know how to fish Florida.
Yeah.
In Texas, I mean, I think everything in Texas has got to be in the water. I don't know if it's the water them guys drink down there, or I don't know if it's their genetics or what. But them kayak anglers in Florida is just it's just stupid how good they are. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it's like they're bred into it.
Like, what do they got? Like 80 degrees every day. I mean,
I mean, they catch some giants. Our team went last year, and I was really proud of the guys on the team for how well they did. I mean, Dan Perry caught some giants. Lance Coley caught some giants. One of my ex-teammates, John Lessman, and Jeremy Baker and all them. I mean, they caught some big ones, and I mean, it's just, catching big ones in Texas ain't even enough sometimes. I mean, that's how crazy that place is. And I mean, those Texas guys, I think they put up like 216 inches and 10 fish. And it's like, how can you beat that? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just, I think our guys had like 190 something. And I mean, typically, like those kind of numbers is just, over the top. I mean, that's the icing on the cake, but but it was good. It was good experience for our guys. And, we were proud of the performance that they did. And, you win some, you lose some, and, life goes on. We'll get another chance at them one day. And I just hope it's in Alabama and not in Texas,
Yeah. I see how that is, man. But it's good to kind of like bounce around it because you get to learn new lakes, learn new places, and you also get to do it as a team. Like just in general, I like going out with people just kayak fishing in general because we're able to break down a body of water quicker than if it's just me going by myself. Even if it's fun fishing, you start learning things a lot quicker, and you learn from other people's techniques. Because, like you said, nobody fishes the same, and so. It's good it's good to go down as a team versus solo and trying to figure everything out yourself.
And that was one approach that we used. It was 4 of us going into an event, so we would say, well, we'll send 2 shallow guys, and then we'll send 2 kind of more versatile deep water kind of offshore stuff guys, and we'll send 2 one direction and 2 the other, and just see what they can come up with. And then, we'll come back together and go, okay, well, I had a bad day. I didn't have but 2 bites. Or, I hammered them. I'm on a killer pattern right now. And we'd share that information. And, it's just nice trying to build a team because the format that Greg has made, and it's really cool to me, is like, you're trying to build a team to be the best in the country. So you don't want to have, in my opinion, you don't want to have 8. We got 8 guys, so we don't want to have 8 deep water guys. You need to be well rounded. So you kind of got to hand pick which guys you want. Okay, well, Lance Coley is one of the best river guys in the country. Okay, we'll take him. And then you got Dan Perry. He can do shallow, he can do deep, whatever. He's comfortable doing it all. Okay, we need a real versatile guy. We got Chuck Weiss, one of the best jerkbait fishermen in Alabama. We got him, so we put him out there, and he fishes grass as good as any of them, but he's really good at like jerkbait fishing and stuff like that. And then you got Joe McElroy. I mean, God, look how Joe did in Texas, at the Bassmaster Classic. He got second, and I mean, he can fish deep, he can fish shallow. He's got all the experience. I mean, if we factored all that in building this team, and I was like, okay, I'm typically a river guy, shallow water guy. I'm a big John Cox fan, so that's kind of where I like to be is really shallow. But I can fish deep. It's just, it's not what I go to right out the gate.
Yeah, I'm the same way here.
And
I'd
then
rather be in the shallows.
oh yeah, I'd rather fish grass because I mean that's all we got here is grass. Grass and wood and current. So, and then I was like, well, we need somebody that's a hammer, that's consistent, that can do everything. So then we hit up Jordan Marshall, got him on the team. We've got the guys to do it this year. Like, I mean, we really do. I legitimately think, we've got a chance with, Dan, Chuck, Joe, Jordan, me. I see I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting? Forgive me. Let's see. We've had people, have like family issues and stuff, and they dropped off the team. They just had to, like, personal reasons. I'm missing somebody. Who is it? Let's see. Crap. I'm trying to think who it is. Oh, Lance. I already said his name. Lance Coley. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was I mean, I think we got one of the most well-rounded teams, going into this year, to do it, to make a run at it, and we actually had a guy this morning, had to, step down off the team just because of family reasons, which, completely understandable. Me and Dan, we get it. It's life. It is what it, it stuff comes up, and, we're proud of him for the opportunity he had, for his family and everything. So, we're working on filling that other 8th spot right now. I think we got a guy that's maybe going to line up for us. So hopefully that comes through.
Now, do you have to have 8 people, or is that just the number you guys pick?
Well, I think that's the max that you can have in the tournament, on the team. You don't have to have 4. I don't think you have to have 4. I know last year, I have to double check, but I know last year, I think we fished an event with 3 guys. We just didn't have enough guys to make it, and we still won. But, I'm pretty sure you can still send 3 guys. If you want to send your 3 guys and fish against 4 guys, I mean, I guess that's kind of on you. But we just went into it with we wanted the 8 guys because, if an emergency comes up or, something happens, we needed to have somebody that could fill in, and then not be an issue, traveling and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, I'm still learning the whole KFL thing, kind of through Dan, kind of through social media. So we're right about 28 minutes. I want to give you a chance to shout out if you have any sponsors or anybody you want to thank or anything like that, and then your social medias before we get off.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I like to give a shout out to Dugout Bait and Tackle. All my stuff comes through them. They treat me like family, and that's, I respect the heck out of Jamie and Steve and what they've done for me. And if I've ever needed anything, it's a couple of second phone call, and hey, it's on its way, or swing by and pick it up, or that's just a awesome place down there, and regardless if they weren't a sponsor of mine or not, I would still recommend them. But if anybody goes down there in Marietta, Georgia, and another sponsor, Jackson Kayaks, Jameson and Dustin Nichols. I appreciate them guys for having me on the team, and I'm just super thankful for that. And I've been a Jackson fan for a long time and used them. And then Net Bait and Scum Frog and Snag Proof and Halo Rods. You can get all that down there at Dugout. They've got it all. That's besides my stuff. Dugout's got Shimano, Lew's, Halo Rods, St. Croix. They've got Net Bait. They've got, that place is just, if you ever felt like you just walked in heaven and there's just stuff just everywhere. It's just crazy. Then you can even demo kayaks while you're there. So it's pretty cool set. It's pretty cool setup.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So
it's like a miniature Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's what it's like. I mean, and if there's anything you need, I mean, they got the online store too. So, I mean, you can, check them out online. And if there's something they don't have online, you can call the shop and they'll get it to you. It's pretty sweet.
It's awesome, man. All right. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. I appreciate you doing this kind of last minute. So, anything else you want to say before I hit it?
No, sir. I appreciate having me, and thanks for letting me come on here and talk about fishing. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Have a good one. Enjoy the season.
All right. See you.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You can support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.